What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved Expert Mode. Oh yeah, guys. So I'm over here, I was watching the apiary for a while, trying to make sure everything's going as it should be. I did replace that dense item duct with a vacuum item duct, and this thing seems to be working pretty good. Yeah, so we don't have to have that extra block, or I guess that extra pipe next to the chest. So yeah, it's just a little bit more compact, and I think this is working rather well. Cool. So the bees come out, and since this is a vacuum, this seems like the closest point for them to go. So the bees try and go here. If they can't fit, they head over here. Same with the items, and we've collected 43 combs. I did also set up a chunk load area here. I forgot to do that, yeah, at the end of last episode. I walked away for a little while. I was like, oh, wait, those things aren't going to be running, are they? So I'm not 100% sure, but I think this grasslands area might actually be like a swamp, maybe? I don't know. We're getting a lot of slimes over here. Isn't that where slimes spawn, like at nighttime? Like, the magnum torch is preventing monsters from spawning. So we're not getting creepers or zombies or anything, but we are getting a lot of slimes. And it seems to only happen at nighttime, so I assume that makes this like a swamp. Unless there's just something special about this particular biome. I don't really know, but yeah, I was just kind of hanging out here, making sure the magnum torch was doing its thing. And yeah, a bunch of slimes do in fact spawn. Yeah, so check it out, right over here. This slime just spawned, it's nighttime, right? And this guy wouldn't be spawning normally. So I really feel like Biomes of Plenty is acting like this grasslands biome right here is a swamp, or at least it spawns slimes just the same. So anyway, I'm not sure if this is actually gonna work for what we want. I was hoping that was gonna be just like a plains biome, but it really feels like it's not. I don't know if there's a way. I'm sure there's a way that I could figure that out, but we do have plains biomes around. Like, I think this one's a pretty good one up here. There's also one down south, right? Yeah, there's a large plains biome right here too. Or we could try looking at getting into some of the other bee machines. Back in FTB Ultimate, that was the first time I really got into bee breeding. There was a mod called Extra Bees, which introduced a lot of bee stuff, machines, extra bees, and all of those machines have been taken out of this mod. So the only thing we have in here is like alveary stuff, and I guess some other things, some random combs and whatever. But yeah, all those machines have been taken out of this mod and put into a new mod, or I guess a separate mod called Genetics. So this mod right here has all those bee breeding stuff like we used to have in the Extra Bees mod back in FTB Ultimate, but all these things have been changed and they are significantly different than what they used to be. I was just trying them out a little bit in a creative world, and yeah, things are quite different. There's like growth medium. It doesn't show it here, but there's like liquid growth medium and bacteria and enzymes and all sorts of weird stuff. We might dive into that a little bit later. Before we do, I was kind of trying to figure out where I want to, put all those machines if we do get into that stuff. So I kind of finished out the floor here in this area outside of our reactor room. And I was kind of thinking to myself, when we come down to this floor, we have two choices. We can either go to the reactor, or we can go into the reactor uranium fuel supply area, right? I don't know, it kind of makes more sense. Like, if we were to have that room over there that's processing all the uranium, like, off of this room. So, like, when we come down here, we can go into the radiation-filled area, or we can go somewhere else. And then when we're in here, we can, work on the fuel rods, go check on the reactor. We might even have more reactors set up at some point. I don't know. I kind of feel like we might be beyond the whole IC2 reactor thing, but it just seems kind of silly that our ore processing is right there. I feel like that should be moved over, and we should have like another hallway over here leading to other stuff. So that's, one thing I've been thinking about, and that's going to be kind of a pain because this is all set up in such a way that it processes all of our ore the way we want, kind of. I don't know. Then down here, I put in another floor. This is our third level, and there's nothing here. That resonant exchanger is so good for laying down these floors. Like, all you gotta do is fill your inventory full of like whatever block you want, and then right click the stone, and it all switches out for you. It's so nice putting in a floor like that. And we got like a little cave down here and whatever. So yeah, this area is pretty much ready for us to put in, you know, some more stuff. I do want to put in like another, like a floor at this level, I think. So we have access to all the pipes and stuff underneath our reactor level. You can kind of see the reactor right there encased in the blast resistant glass. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, so yeah, I was kind of thinking what I wanted to do with all the ore processing for this. Like I said, we might be beyond the IC2 reactors at this point. I don't know if I really want to get rid of all this stuff because it is kind of cool and might be useful later on should we choose to, you know, want to go back and take a look at it. But yeah, the reactor's still going, still using these quad fuel rods. We are still collecting the depleted stuff, and we still have plenty of fuel for quite a while yet. So I don't really think it's a big deal if we tear it down for, you know, a week or something. Anyway, that's something I'll be thinking about. Another thing I want to start working on is where we're going to put all of our IC2, or I'm sorry, E2, Applied Energistics 2 stuff. We're putting the drives up here for now. I'm not sure if that's where we're going to permanently put it. People are saying we should fill the walls in with the drives like I had the storage drawers before. Yeah, I was thinking about that, but I was also thinking, like down here, on this floor, it might be kind of cool to set up like a server room, like have all sorts of technical blocks and things down here, have it like a clean room. There's the chisel laboratory blocks, laboratory blocks that have like wall vents and information consoles, and we could do all sorts of like high-tech stuff on the walls, which would be kind of cool. There's a lot of stuff from Chisel actually. I don't know exactly where these blocks are, but there's like a lot of moving parts and things like that. There's a multi-block. I think that might be called technical block. Yeah, these things right here have like fans and stuff that look like, I don't know, old style computers or whatever that are spinning. We could do walls with this stuff. I think this might be a multi-block fan thing that you can put on there. Yeah, lots of cool things. I was just kind of thinking about what I wanted to do instead of just putting it upstairs in the wall, which would be, I mean, it would work, but I think we could do better than that. So yeah, I'm thinking the AE2 stuff is going to go down there on that third floor. Maybe the B stuff will be on that second floor. We'll have to move the reactor processing or processing stuff. But yeah, that's some things that I'd like to work on. So I'm going to get started and we'll be right back. All right, cool. So I've been doing some building here, trying to get things worked out the way I wanted this thing to look. So yeah, this is the room where we had all of the machines to do the ore processing, and I've since removed the machines and I set up more pipes. I left these item ducts here so I knew, like, you know, the way the retrievers and the servos and the filters and things like this were supposed to be set. I knew all the different things that were supposed to go in there. Yep. So I have left that pipe there just for reference, and now we can go into our radiation area. We can go here to the left, and this is the new room for the ore processing. So it's set up pretty much exactly the same way. I did upgrade all the pipes to the impulse and then the ones that are opaque. So yeah, if we're doing a lot of processing, it won't cause any rendering issues or whatever. Yeah, all the filters, the retrievers, and the servos have all been upgraded to the resonant versions. And everything else should be pretty much the same. I was thinking that I might set up a drawer controller over here and put more drawers just so we have extra space for things that, you know, we are needing extra space for. Like currently we have this chest where this filter is filtering out the purified crushed uranium ore, the tiny piles of uranium-235, and the clay dust for when I'm doing the, what are those, the memory things for the UU matter. Yeah, so anyway, this is like where our extra storage is for that, and it might be better, I don't know for sure, it might be better though, if we get rid of this chest and just put like a drawer controller over here that all those extra items can go into and they can each have their own individual space. I don't know, that might be something else we upgrade to. I did leave a little bit of extra room against this wall this time, just so we have room to expand out and we're not feeling as cramped. Yep, so that's the way this is set up. Cool, and then we can go ahead and close that door. Yeah, and then I also added in a Howler Alarm, which I know a lot of people use as pranks because they're really loud and annoying. It is configurable. I don't remember if it was configurable before, but you can set it up so it only like outputs to 8 block range or 16 blocks or whatever. But yeah, I have it hooked up to this lever, so when we open up the reactor room, yeah, it's a little loud. But it will remind us to keep that door closed. Anyway, I thought that would just add a little bit more to the build. It's annoying, yep, but I think it's kind of cool at the same time. So I just kind of reworked the way the wiring is for the sprinkler. I just brought that around to the back over here, and it just connects to the new lever on this side. And yeah, the door, that lever that opens the door to the reactor room, I just brought up some redstone conduit that goes down here and down a little bit. I tried to bring it a little far away so it's quieter. This is set to an 8 block range or sound range of 8 or whatever. So like the further away you get, it is quieter. I tried bringing it down so it's not as loud. It is still kind of loud. I might mess with it. I might remove it. I don't know. I just thought it'd be kind of cool to have it there. We'll see how that all goes. So the next step is I want to, well, probably remove these walls and stuff and rearrange this, and we'll have like a hallway that comes over here, and we'll set up some kind of like an area that we can start working with those genetic machines. That's probably the next thing that I want to start working on. So yeah, I'm going to take some time here, knock down some more walls. I still got to move this stuff over into the other room and clean up these pipes and all this stuff. Yeah, let me go ahead and get some more stuff done, and we'll be right back, guys. Alright guys, so I spent some more time here. I was reworking some things, moving things around. I made the hallway like I said I was going to, and then we were left with a bunch of blank, empty looking walls, and I thought, maybe we should mess around with the other types of the laboratory blocks, since there are a bunch of other types that we can use. Let's see, yeah, we have all these different ones. We could do like these steel tiles or whatever. These look kind of interesting to me, like the information console blocks and the directional console. And then these enameled wall vents. So I've used like the vents up here and on the other side. And then we just have like these information consoles and the left and the right blocks on either side. So when you walk in here, you can kind of get a direction that you're supposed to go this way. I mean, there's no other way to go, right? But anyway, I thought this would all look a little bit better than just having the flat blank walls. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe we could just make this, you know, the 3x3 all the way down there, just a really enclosed hallway. I thought opening it up into kind of like a room slash hallway would be kind of cool, but I don't know. So anyway, we have a room over here now that we can start setting up some of the genetic machines. That was the whole purpose of this anyway. It's just to lead us over here so we have another room so we can do some stuff. Now, I was looking at the, oh, you know what? I think there's needs to be a torch there. I was looking at the recipes for these genetic machines. And these are a little expensive. Some of these require enzymes, so we have to like do the basic stuff before we can even get to these things. So, incubator. I think this is the very first machine that we need. So with the incubator, we need a furnace, reinforced casing, which is the sturdy casing, all that bronze and stuff from forestry. So all that bronze plus some iron gives us the reinforced casing. We need a couple of these enhanced circuit boards, which is actually good because I made those up a while ago when I was making up a lot of circuit boards, and I really had no use for these. I was like, oh wait, what do we use these even for? They couldn't figure it out. Well, yeah, this gives us a reason to use those. Let's go back to the incubator. Yep, more bronze and all of this stuff. I think we should be able to quickly build one of these. And in fact, as I was messing around with this stuff in a creative world, I kind of came to the conclusion that we're going to need more than one incubator if we're going to be using these machines. So that might be something we look at here in the future. Can we make one of those? We can. Cool. And I think, there we go. Okay, so we got one incubator. Awesome. So I guess I already had a furnace made. So I'm looking at my notes over here, what we needed. So we need water and growth medium in an incubator to get to the next stage of this thing. So the growth medium, this is what this is. So we need sugar plus bone meal gives us 2 of those. Do we have sugar? We do have the sugar cane. And I did take time a while ago. That's why my seed analyzer is right here, by the way. I took some time a little bit ago to make some sugar cane seeds. Yeah, we got 10 of these. So I can grow sugar cane at a decent rate whenever I need to. And I don't have to go all the way back to spawn for that. So maybe we should just turn all of this sugarcane into sugar at this point, and then bone meal. How are we doing on that? We have 16. We don't have very many bones, man. We really should set up a mob farm here pretty soon, huh? Kind of think we should. All right, let's just do this. So bone meal plus that sugar. There's some growth medium. Cool. All right, so we got that plus this. We're gonna need, I don't know, a transfer no liquids. Yep, one of those. We're gonna need a world interaction upgrade. We don't have any of those. Okay, world interaction upgrade time. So we need to make a diamond pick in that pretty quick. All right, transfer pipe to move liquids around. Trying to think if there's anything else we need. I guess we're gonna need power, so I'm gonna want some flux ducts, and I think we're just gonna use the redstone ones for now. All right, so we should be able to get some stuff done down here. So the redstone cable, where is that coming down? I think that's coming down the wall about right here. So we can just run that over and under, or I guess we could pull it off the other side. Anyway, we need to get this down here. So I don't know. I'm going to set this down just some kind of a block right now. I think we're going to want one block off the ground anyway. So we'll put that right like that. And then in the back, we're going to need, well, we're going to need water coming into this thing somehow. So maybe we'll just put a pipe under there with this thing going, I don't know, into like a source block of water, infinite source. We'll have like the power wires running back like this or something. And yeah, so let's get some stuff in here. So we need the growth medium, and then we are going to need our infinite spring of water. So let's get this. Yeah, something like that. Okay, cool. And then water right there. And we also have another infinite source over here. I guess I could connect the two. I don't know if that's really necessary or not, but I can just take some of this water though. And close. Cool. All right, so we put that there. There's our infinite spring. There is our world interaction upgrade. We are pulling water out, and now we are filling the tank full of water. Okay, so this only holds 2 buckets, looks like. So we got the growth medium here, and this is telling us we're out of power. So yeah, now we need to figure out where we're gonna run this power from. I guess I'll just come down here. And we will pull it right off of there. Can always rework these cables a little bit later to make them look a little bit nicer, but for right now, this will get us going so we can kind of get these machines and see what they're looking like. All right, so we got water, we got power, we got the growth medium here. Oh, okay, and it looks like we are, in fact, making the growth medium liquid. Cool. So that is one step of this process done. I'm wondering why it shows we have a stack here and then 62 there. Oh, that was just like a ghost item or something. Yeah, so we're gonna need this growth medium. That stuff mixes with wheat to make bacteria, and then the bacteria mixes with sugar to make enzyme. So let me go ahead and make 2 more of these machines. I kind of feel like we're gonna want a machine for each of these different stages. Yeah, let me go and do some work here, and we'll be back, guys. So this is what we've ended up with. So I ended up making 3 of these incubators because this is about the point that I want to get to with this project for today. So our first one here, like we were talking about, it imports water into it, and then with the growth medium, it turns that into the liquefied growth medium. Our second incubator over here, I've put wheat in. We're going to put in the liquefied growth medium here, and this should use the wheat and combine and make, I can't remember, I think it's just called bacteria is what it is. It does take a minute for this process to happen. And oh, actually I do have a fluid duct on the back here that's pulling it out of the machine and going up into this drum up above. So yeah, we are in fact making the bacteria right now. All right, so the bacteria then needs to flow into another incubator with some sugar, and that will turn this into enzyme. And enzyme were the items that we needed for one of the recipes. So I guess we can go ahead and turn this guy on and start making the enzymes. So the way this is going to work is I have an item duct in the back that's just pulling out and should put into this jungle drawer. Now, I was kind of thinking about this. Since we had to provide in the growth medium, wheat, and sugar, it might be a better idea to swap out these energy flux ducts down here with the fluctuating item ducts. And then we can have like a storage drawer kind of a thing over here. and then retrievers that's pulling in the different items that it needs, and then we can have a retriever over there that's pulling in the enzymes or whatever. So I think this needs to get up to a certain point before it actually will make the enzymes. So this process does take a minute. It's one of these things you got to set up and then wait before you can start using it. Yeah, I don't know how fast this is gonna be. Like if it'd be faster just to try and get those bees going by hand, the vanilla forestry style, or if we should invest time into this. But you know, I wanted to check out this mod since this is something that I haven't experienced for a very long time, and all these machines, like I said, were changed. So I thought it'd be kind of cool. But anyway, we'll let this go. We'll collect a few enzymes, and I'll probably work on this stuff a little bit off camera. Yeah, there we go. Now we're starting to get a decent amount. We've collected 4 enzymes. I guess once it gets to a certain point, it just starts making these things really quickly. I suppose that's the way it looked like. Anyway, we got 5 up there. Cool. Anyway, yeah, let's move on to another project. All right, so what I wanted to work on next was getting a way to use these inscribers to automatically process raw materials into those circuits like we were talking about before. Now, I said I wanted to do this as a pure Applied Energistics 2 method, but I kind of feel like just using flux ducts and item ducts and such will make this an easier process. In fact, now I'm thinking about it, I forgot my impulse. Yeah, these guys right here, the item ducts. Okay, so for right now, since we don't have anything set up down here in this lower level, I think this will eventually be like where we store all of our Applied Energistics stuff. We'll have like the server room and our auto crafting and all that stuff. I think that's going to reside down here, and probably our controllers eventually. But for right now, I wanted to set up something temporary to see how easy, how difficult this is going to be to do what I want to do. So we need the inscriber. So I think the way we're going to set this up, we'll have an item duct on the bottom with an inscriber, and then item duct, inscriber, and we'll also try and find a way to compact this too. But I'm just kind of thinking, like, we'll have all these different inscribers here. We're going to need one for silicon. We're going to need one for the other 3 different types of processors, and they do need access to the top and the bottom. I know people are saying we can turn these sideways, and that might also help compact this, but for right now, I think we're just going to stack these. I'm sure there's probably going to be a way, like I said, that we can figure out to do this in a much more efficient way. And then we also need access to the side of these machines. I don't want those. Do I want those pipes connecting? I might want those connecting. I think that'll be fine. So we'll do something like this. Okay. So then we'll have an input chest somewhere. I guess we can just stick this on the bottom so we don't have to climb all the way up there. So this chest will put in diamonds, gold, pure Certus quartz crystal, and silicon, and then it'll process into the refined versions into these machines, and then we will have another inscriber over here. So let's do another item duct where like so. Yeah, we're also going to figure out how to power these things. And the way this is set up, I'm going to have to run the power cables to each and every one of these as well. So it might be an idea to swap out these item ducts for the fluctuating item ducts. I don't know. But like I said, I haven't tried doing this, and I'm just doing this on the fly right now. So we'll just kind of figure this out as we go. And then we can also use a tesseract for power for right now. And probably do this in a more efficient way later. So main base power on, and we don't want items. We just want energy. Okay. Cool. Hopefully I didn't get any items over here. Doesn't look like it. All right. So all of those items are going to go in here, and then the other items are going to end up over into this one. So we also need to surround this with item ducts like this. And we want that disconnected. Cool. So we have access to the top, the side, and the bottom. And that disconnected. Okay, cool. So I need to put in the servos and the retrievers and all of these different things for each one of these machines. So let me do that real quick, and we'll be right back. All right, guys. So I was thinking about this for a little bit, and I was being kind of silly. We didn't really need the item ducts between each of these, so we didn't need it as tall. So this is where we're at right now. So we just have a retriever on the side of each of these different presses, the inscribers with the presses in there, I should say. So yeah, we have silicon being imported into the silicon press, and then we have gold into the logic, and then we have diamond into the engineering. Yep. And then we have the calculation with the pure Certus quartz up here. Cool. So all of those, the raw items get imported from this chest over into here. We'll also have like redstone in here. And then when those are all finished, the item ducts on the other side are connecting those to the pipe network, so we can pull out those items using the resonant retriever here, and we have the different ones set up for all 3 of those. And then down here we have redstone into the side, and in the bottom we have the printed silicon. And then finally, this last resonant retriever is set to pull out the 3 different finished processors. Cool. So this should be working. I haven't tried it yet. I think we should be good to go though. So let's try putting in, I don't know, 1 silicon, 1 gold, and 1 redstone, and see if we get ourselves a processor. So all 3 of those should, or I guess all 2 of those should process at about the same time. I do need to get the speed upgrades, and yeah, look at that over here, and it is in fact processing. Cool. That gets stamped. Oh, I don't have a pipe. Okay, so there's a mistake. I need to have 1 more pipe connecting over here so this retriever can pull out of this side, because you can't pull out of another retriever like that. Okay, so little flaw there. All right, so we can go ahead and fix that real quick. That actually is a pretty easy thing to fix. Let's do that together. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll grab an item duct right there, in the chest with the retriever on it. Cool, and then we'll just set all 3 of these right here. Once again, we'll whitelist those, and we can accept infinite amounts. We should probably do round robin. Does that matter? I don't know if that matters, actually. All right, so I think we should be good. We just have to ignore the redstone signal there. Okay, so let's try 1 more. Let's do a diamond processor this time. One of those. We'll put all 3 in there. So the diamond goes in there, the silicon goes down here. Those get stamped, then they should appear over in this one, which it looks like they did. This is now doing its thing. And there we go. Beautiful. So that's a decent way to do it with the thermal dynamics. It might be more compact to do it with the Applied Energistics, but I think this is going to work just as well. And there might even be a way that I can move these things around and make it a smaller footprint. Maybe instead of going vertical, we could do horizontal or something. And being that these are, you know, the thermodynamic pipes, we can put the covers on those, and I don't know, we can cover up all the wires and stuff and make that look like it's supposed to be here. But I think that's pretty cool for our first initial try of automating making these processors. Yeah, awesome. So I'm just going to put in those, put in these and that. And I'm just going to make up a bunch of the logic processors since we need those for making, you know, bigger storage drives. So yeah, this will just happen automatically now. I can walk away from it. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, we do need the upgrades like I was talking about so we can make these much faster, but I am pretty happy with this. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved. Hope you guys liked it. Remember to leave a like on this episode if you did, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.